we just got Coach Green right now. We'll work on players a little bit later if you guys are still in need of it. We'll do an opening statement and then go into questions for Coach.
I'm just really proud of our guys today. Obviously, I have a ton of respect for Indiana and really what Terry's done and how she's built the program. Like I remember when she first got there and how she's built it up into a perennial, top 15 team. So we knew it was going to be obviously a really tight game and they're so hard to prepare for. But I'm really proud of how we came out and executed our game plan and made it really tough on. Holmes had 15 early, but then I thought we did a really good job on her as the game went on with bringing some doubles and trying to, as best you can to try to neutralize her a little bit. She's so good and she's so hard to prepare for. And they have so many pieces around them that can, hit threes and do different things. So our big thing was we didn't do a great job the first game with our battle of the paint. They really got us in the paint and we didn't do a great job in ball screen action, so they got slips. They got a ton of just dumped down layups, and so that was really our focus, was trying to take away the pain as best as you can. We won that battle, and then we won the battle of the boards, which I thought was key when you played them. And I thought probably one of the best stats for us of the entire game. Holmes does so much damage with getting rebounds and putbacks or rebounds for kick out threes, and their team, flourishes when she does that. For us to hold her to 2 rebounds and only 1 board, I think is probably the biggest stat of the game because they just generate so much off of that. And I thought our guys were really intentional and disciplined with our talking about that, of going and getting a body on her and not letting her get those opportunities. So I thought a great overall 40 minutes for us, and we were able to hit some shots and score the ball, which obviously the guys that follow us a lot, we've been kind of up and down with that. So to be able to put 86 up against such a great defensive team of Indiana, that's really good for us going forward. Now we just got to continue to have that rhythm and confidence.
Shauna, this game individually, I know we talked about it a few times this season, but only going Gretchen off the bench, was that something that you had planned, or was that something that kind of came with the flow of the game?
Yeah, I never plan rotations. I just don't. I'm a field person. I'm a matchup person. With them going small, they play Garzon a lot at the 4. We went big at times, but as the game went on, I really felt our best lineup was really our small lineup, which we haven't really gone that much to. And so I just kind of went with it, and I thought Gretchen was big off the bench and our guys had energy. I had timeouts that if we needed to get them a break, but I think a lot of it, they wanted this game really bad. So, like we always say, it's a mindset. You're not tired. You gotta believe that you got energy, and for them to defend and then execute on the offensive end, just really proud of them. But no, it's not something I planned on doing, and it's really something we can't continue to do. It worked this game. We gotta play more.
Shauna, a lot of the conversation in January was staying the course and kind of navigating what was kind of a choppy month. What do you feel like you guys were able to do that to lead to what's going to produce surge in February here?
Just being resilient and continuing to believe. It's hard, right? It's hard when you go through adversity. It's hard when a lot of people, and there's a lot of expectations, and I really the last few weeks and last couple of weeks, we've just been locked into us and doing what we do. And what makes Illinois basketball starts with our defense. We defend and we rebound. If we do that, then good things are going to happen from there. But I give our players all the credit. They've continued to stay locked in. I think we've gotten even more connected and together, and you can see it out there as we've gone through some of these hard times. And that's what, right? You have adversity. You're either going to pull apart or you're going to pull together. And how are you going to do that? And through all of the bumps in the road, I just feel like we're getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And that's our players continuing to do that. We know what we're capable of doing. The challenge I've said really the last week and a half leading to Penn State is continuing to play to our standards as a program and your individual standards. What's your standards? What do you want to be known for? And I think out there was what this program and what I want to be known for. Playing really hard, playing really together, defending at an elite level, rebounding at an elite level, and just being really tough. So if we can continue to do that, I think we can, do whatever we want to do still this year. But if we don't do that, we've seen what happens.
Shauna, you were 15 and 22 today on layups. Just what led you guys to believe you could get straight line drives on them? Because I know how good they are defensively, and then if it wasn't good, you got 20 points at the foul line. It just seemed like you did a whole bunch of damage in the paint.
Yeah, I thought our emphasis really the last week, and I've been saying this all year, but I think they finally, like, that light bulb went on. They're like, oh shoot, we can get downhill. Our athleticism has to be a strength of ours. Our quickness has to be a strength of ours, or we're not utilizing our advantages that we have. And you saw it at Penn State. We did a great job of getting downhill. We got to the free throw line 20 times there, and now we got to the free throw line 24 times there. That has not happened. It's been, and you guys know because you've seen us a lot, some of those losses, it was the other team getting there. So I just think it's just our kids really, really locking in and being intentional of, let's really attack. And you saw that from every guard. And then Gretchen was saying, she comes off the bench and she made some really tough shots tonight and was just in a full out downhill attack mode. And when we can do that and put pressure on the defense, again, that's our strength. We're not shooting the ball extremely well this year from three. Okay, let's get to the free throw line and let's get downhill and find ways to manufacture points.
Coach, decisive second quarter, were there some points of emphasis in the huddle, between quarters that you think maybe turned the tide?
No, I didn't like our start. I thought we came out, we just seemed a little out of it, and we didn't execute the game plan. And then about right after that first media, we were locked in, and from there, this team, they know what it takes. I could see the focus on them. They were very calm throughout. It was just, we just had a lot of confidence. And our preparation the last 2 days was really, really good. I've said this a couple times now. The last week we've had it's the best we've practiced 1 through 14 this past week, where everyone's locked in, everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing, and you're seeing the results of that. But I just think they had a great focus, and they were loose today. I could feel it. It's kind of, I said that last year when we beat Iowa. There's just a vibe and shoot around. I'm a big feel person. I could feel just loose and confident, and I just try to keep it that way and not mess it up.
I wanted to say congrats on the win, but also ask you, as you've said, IU's offense is very difficult to guard between Mac surrounded by 4 shooters. A lot of teams might try to double and triple team Mac and make that their entire focus and leave shooters open. While you did double team or some, you seem more okay with maybe, taking the shooters out of it and letting Mac get hers. Can you talk about that difference?
Yeah, I think it's hard, right? I mean, that's why they're one of the best teams in the country the past how many years. You have Mackenzie Holmes, who's one of the best, if not the best, post player in the country, and then you have elite shooters around her. So our thing is we were going to try to keep her on her toes, so we doubled some. We would just heavy dig at times, and then I just, we're all about trying to help in, but then you got to bust it out, and there's a difference. Do you get out on those shooters? And that is hard work, and it's really hard to get out and contest and contain, or do you just kind of, let the pass go out and you're just kind of loafing out there? In order to beat Indiana, you got to be able to guard inside, and then you got to be able to bust your butt out and get a high hand on their shooters. And then they run Scally off 7 million screens, and one time Jen's going all over. I'm like, Jen, and she had it through. I'm like, Jen, I don't know, that's good offense, and you worked your butt off. Tell her good job and run back and get the next time. So we just try to keep her on her toes of doubling some, not doubling some, and really trying to take away the other guys and neutralize them. Easier said than done.
So earlier this season, we've seen really close losses, but now you're finally taking that push ahead. Got over that Penn State hump, got over the Indiana hump. How do you feel, and how do you look to push forward into these next couple weeks?
Well, I'd feel better if I didn't have to go to Carver Hawkeye and play Iowa our next game, but you know what? It is what it is. So it's one day at a time. It really is. We can't get too far ahead. You can't get too caught up. Win or lose, it's the same thing for us. It's been because we've been on some tough losses and we've had some good wins, but it's about enjoy whatever it is or be miserable whatever it is, and then next day you're on to the next. So we're going to enjoy this one because we have. one thing this year's taught me is you got to enjoy the wins. You know, it's so hard to win a college basketball game at any level. So we've really tried to enjoy the wins and you know, not beat yourself too much up on some of the losses. But we got a gauntlet ahead. You know, we got Iowa, then we go to Michigan State, and then you have Nebraska here. So one day at a time, and you know, start trying to prepare somehow, some way to, you know, not let Caitlin Clark get 50. So if you have any ideas, you know, let me know.
Shauna, you just referenced you know, free throws and how big they are, and especially for McIra there in that fourth quarter to go 7 of 8 from the line. What did that kind of do there to kind of stem the tide and make a difference on being able to hold them off?
That was the game, right? I thought that was the biggest thing is how aggressive we are in the fourth. You guys were at our Wisconsin game when Wisconsin shot 18 free throws and we shot 0. So we learned from that. We got to be the aggressor. We got to go at them. And I thought McIra was really, really good. She's little, so she doesn't get a lot of those calls, but I thought she did a much better job today of getting into them and going up and really trying to initiate and absorb the contact instead of, like I was telling you, you're not going to get calls when you're going this way. So I loved how she was so aggressive and really went in there to try to be strong and go up with it, and that was key. The free throws were key, but those free throws were a byproduct of our aggressiveness and the willingness to get downhill.
Earlier you had referenced you can still do what you guys wanted to do. Like, how do you balance that with the one day at a time thing? Like, does it help that it's a veteran group and you can maybe have more broad conversations without losing out on the micro?
Yeah, you know, I've said that because you can, right? But that's the process in it. But we still gotta, you know, you can't get where you want to get if you don't win today and you don't win tomorrow in practice, and you don't win and go 1-0 the next day in practice, and you know, and then you go to, like, it really with us, you know, it's different. Indiana's in a different spot, right? They're looking at different things. Like for us, we just got to be locked in of how can we continue to get better? How can we continue to get more together and more connected and continue to play our best basketball now against the top 3 teams, or, you know, all of them are in top 4, and including Indiana. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be really, really hard. So again, enjoy it. We'll learn from it. We'll break it all down. What do we need to improve on? And then, you know, it's into prep for Iowa.
In terms of hobby, you've said it all year about how difficult it's been for her to adapt to the way you guys want to play, even though she's such a veteran. But it seems like you're getting the most out of her than you have all year. And is it finally starting to click how she can work with you guys and you guys can work with her in a joint fashion?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy with Hobby's progression, and it's tough. It's tough for a 5th year, but we're a hell of a lot better right now with her out there playing at the level she's playing. And there was a couple times, even, you know, late, I just went small because of, you know, they were really leaking out and trying to send someone back. But how aggressive, how confident, you know, she's 5 for 9. You know, 12 points, really did great on homes and was physical. She's just continued to believe, and she's bought in, and she's playing really well right now. And because of that, we're playing really, really well.
You've referenced it earlier, just being able to play small. With Gretchen out there and what she was able to do, just what's the confidence you have in her the last couple of weeks to be able to put her in some really tough situations and play some big minutes in a massive game?
I don't view her as a freshman anymore. I mean, I have utmost confidence in her. I thought she was great in her help defense tonight and really kind of shading Holmes. And I just keep, with her all year, I've been just fueling her with confidence. Keep shooting, keep driving. And that's all I tell her. I don't tell her anything else. I don't get into too much of her shot. Like, she's a flat out scorer. So again, I'm trying to not screw it up. I just want her to be aggressive. And today she made some plays today that, like, that's what a kid that scores over 2,000 points in high school does. And you can see it, her start getting a little bit of confidence, and she's going in there double pumping on all this and making plays. A couple of those plays she scored on, the plays were like, they kind of broke them off, or we weren't in it, and then she just made a play. And with her ability to shoot the ball, and then her ability to get downhill and finish, she's a 3-level scorer, and she's figured out a lot better than what she has defensively for us. So yeah, she's officially not a freshman anymore, and I'm really, really, really proud of her. She's been huge for us in these last 2 wins.
So it seems like Adalia came up with a lot of like hustle plays or really toughness plays. Like for as much scoring and rebounding as she's done during this month of February, like how important are those plays for you guys, and what's the contagious effect it can have on the rest of you?
That's why we've won the games. If you look at it, how Dal's been playing is why we've won the games we've won. As she makes winning plays. We talk all the time about making winning plays in our program. She just does stuff that is just pure heart and hustle and determination. And that's why you love her. Like, she just plays so hard. And she made a couple huge plays today. She's finishing so much better, as we know. She's 6 for 10, had some really good finishes. She just does so much for us. Again, I've said it all along, she's our X factor. We go as she goes, and she's that energizer. Just, if she plays like she has been, everyone feels off it and feeds off it.
Moore McNeil had really been on a roll for Indiana coming into today, and she just didn't look like herself today really on either end of the floor. Just wondering if there was anything you kind of keyed in on to kind of take her out of her element today.
We just really want to try to keep her in front of us. That was the biggest thing with all these guys, is keep them in front, keep them out of the paint. So she can't facilitate, so she can't get some easy buckets at the rim. And that's our initial closeouts, but more importantly, it was our ball screen coverage. And that's where we were much improved today in our ball screen coverage than we were that first game. And then I thought we didn't let her get a lot of open catch and shoots. We slipped up one time. We got a little bit, we didn't hustle out there as hard as we need to. These guys, they can get catch and shoots inside out, or just one pass, catch and shoot without a hand up. They're elite shooters.
Shauna, I don't know if this is fair, but you've mentioned before how that Iowa win last year on New Year's Day on national television was a validating moment. Did today feel similar, or is it just kind of a more normal feel today?
Yeah, I thought last year it was. I don't want to say every win is great, especially when you can beat a program like in Indiana and a top, whatever they're ranked right now, 14. They've been top 10 a lot. I thought the Iowa one was hit a little different because it was that first one, right? And where no one thought we could beat anyone. And we hadn't played that, hard of a non-conference schedule. Obviously, we were picked probably last in the conference, so I thought that was kind of like, okay, these guys are legit. Now I think that we know, we've seen we can play, we've played Indiana tough the 3 games, but they just couldn't get over the hump. We played Ohio State tough. We played all those top teams tough. We just we couldn't finish. And so this, again, they're both amazing, but this is a little bit different because now for this year with this team and this journey, like, we did something today just with us of what we've been learning and growing from. We finished. We made big defensive plays. We strung stops together. We played defense with the intensity and the heart that again is our standard and what we're trying to build here. So a little bit different, but obviously both, any win feels good, but again, when you beat a team like this, which I don't know the last time we beat, in Indiana, that would be
17 games ago. 17.
Almost 11 years.
Yeah, almost 11 years, and again, it means more to me because I just have so much respect for them. Like, they're really good, and it's what we're trying to aspire to be and build to be a consistent top 25 program. So yeah, it's big. It's big for our kids because they've worked their butts off and they've stayed the course. It's big for our program to continue to, on national television was great for us too, because we haven't played necessarily well in our other national televised games. So it's important in many areas, but we got to take it, and now, Iowa doesn't care how this game went. We got to go and prepare for them.